This episode of the Haunting You podcast is brought to you by VFX. Scare, entertain, and promote with VFX products. Learn more at vfxcreates.com.
Coming to you live from the Chamber of Haunters Studios, this is Haunting You. I'm John Schelt.
I'm Keoni Hutton.
And I'm Leslie Reed.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Haunting You podcast, and happy St. Patrick's Day. I know I said that like 2 weeks ago on March 1st when we released that episode, but you know what? This one's coming out on the 15th, which is actually a lot closer to St. Patrick's Day.
How can we trust you now?
We never said you could trust us.
You should not trust us. Let's be honest here. John, are you wearing green?
Yes, actually.
I don't believe you. Prove it. Unless you have it on your headphones.
Oh, okay, I'm good then. Okay, I guess they are on my headphones.
Like I've got a little bit right there. I'm set. I got my green.
I keep spilling dinner on me. I'll have green.
You'll have plenty of green.
And
you're eating green too. There you go. Love it. Love it.
I'm also eating lots of yellow because it's curry. It's really good.
Fair enough. We are, as you can tell, we are all ready for St. Patrick's Day and super excited to be celebrating it here with you on the Haunting You podcast. We are halfway through the month, and so this episode is really all about what we want to talk about. We're trying to get into this regular
schedule
routine. We're trying to get on the schedule. We're trying to get into a routine as well, where we have 2 episodes every month, and the first episode of the month there will be a guest on, or something like that. And then the second episode, we really want to focus on what we're doing for our haunt. So we're into the second one of those. 2 weeks ago, we had Roseanne Harpold on to talk about Haunt Fest and all things that were happening there. They just wrapped up their most recent event, Death March, down at Trim Tab Brewing in Birmingham, Alabama. Have not yet heard how that went, but fingers crossed, like based on the social media presence, I think it may have gone well. So super excited for Roseanne. Their next event is, of course, April Ghouls back in Athens, Georgia, 11th and 12th of April. So if you're in that area, go check them out because it is sure to be a fun time. Beyond that, though, we have some exciting events coming up. Our next Lunch and Learn is scheduled.
Yes, for March 21st.
March 21st. And oh my God, Les, I am so freaking excited at who the guest lecturer is. It is the legend, the man himself, Leonard Pickle.
I know. It's going to be awesome.
And apparently he's coming on to talk about his triangular grid system, which is a class that we took at West Coast. I don't know if you remember that.
Yep.
Way back in like 2016, 17?
20 a while ago.
20 a while ago, exactly.
20 a while ago.
Like a decade ago. So
the 90s were 10 years ago. I have charts.
the 80s were only 20 years ago. Like, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And I will fight anybody who disagrees with me.
Yeah, John and I turned 40 this year, so like there's that.
I know. I'm trying to figure out what to do for Alan's 40th.
You don't have to bring it up. You don't think about it or do anything about it.
Thinking about it too much, and so I'm dragging you in. I'm dragging you down with me.
You're older than I am.
I am by like 2 weeks. So there's that, old man. My hair looks better. My hair looks better.
That's subjective, though. You have hair, so of course it looks better. That's different. It's like saying someone with no.
You just have to start going out the white so you get the good Santa look.
You need like a big beard so you can say that it has migrated from the top of your head to the bottom.
That's what Alan does.
Yeah. Work on the beard, man.
Granted, he looks damn good bald.
John, you also look damn good bald.
I mean, I've had the experience.
You have had plenty of experience.
You get used to it.
So
the Avs are playing tonight.
The Avs are playing tonight.
That should do it. It's McDavid, too.
Oh, yeah. The Oilers and the Avs. This is going to be a great freaking game.
And Cotter's back. Second game for Cott. Second game for Dallas.
Listeners, you should have
56 minutes talking about that.
No.
Please.
Listeners, you should have seen the group chat, though, when the Avalanche traded for Nazem Kadri, who was with us the last time we won the Cup 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
22.
Whatever.
4 years ago? Jesus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, we are old.
we are very excited to have Nazem Kadri back.
And LOC skating this morning. No
I saw that
contact,
as
but
well.
he's skating.
No contact, but he's back on the ice. Have you guys heard anything about Landy and his? Did you guys see the picture of his cup?
Yes.
Have we confirmed that that's actually legit and not AI generated?
No, we have not.
No,
but
okay.
It has scared me nonetheless.
I prefer the other one that
Alan
sent me.
I have been struggling with Walker to convince him to wear a cup when he's playing baseball. And to be fair, not like the level of baseball that he's playing, it has not been super necessary yet, because
it's not necessary until all of a sudden you take a bad bounce and
it's very necessary. But like the kids barely hit the ball. The ones who were pitching could barely throw. Like it's really not an issue yet at this age. But I showed him that, and like his eyes were the size of dinner plates.
It's not an issue until it is.
It's not an issue until it is.
Damn. Okay.
Like you see that play with Landy, and I think I said something like, "Man, I'm glad his wife's pregnant now. I think he's done. I think that might do it.
Be done. Seriously.
That might.
Holy shit!
I prefer the one I just sent you.
Oh God.
If it's not AI generated,
I'm a little afraid of what's happening in the group.
No, it's mostly benign.
Oh, of the puck.
I prefer that version.
That's outstanding. I like that one. Yeah, that's fantastic. John, I love your.
I think if like the picture,
Christmas.
If the other picture was legit, I feel like Landy would have dropped a hell of a lot more than he did.
He kind of did, though.
Yeah, but that
and the fact that he is out on a week to week, like. It hurt no matter what.
I'm not. Whether it hits straight on or just in the general vicinity, I'm not saying that it didn't get nailed. I just don't think that's. I still think it's AI generated.
It might be.
I really.
My favorite. Actually, did you see earlier?
Not to dismiss the fact that he fucking hurt. And goddamn it, Kale, would you please stop taking out our goddamn captain?
Oh no, that's the second time.
That's the worst part. It was freaking friendly fire
from Kale.
Do you think they're back on the
bench? Come on,
just like,
Kale?
It was just like, all right, man, I get it one time, but come on.
Yes.
Now we have a pattern.
Kale's got a hell of a shot. People need to know. Get out of the way.
He nailed somebody else,
especially goalies.
Too. No, well, yes, goalies definitely need to get out of the way.
Tell the goalies to get out of the way. Exactly.
That would be preferable.
It would make our jobs way easier.
No, have you guys, this is going to so specific and so random. Have you seen the play? Honestly, it was like 3 months ago, so it's been a long time. Kyle Palmieri for the Islanders, left wing play when he tore his ACL.
Oh my God, yes.
That's the best injury I've ever seen in my entire life.
I don't know if best is the word I would use to describe that.
No, it was.
Maybe.
If you haven't seen it.
It was terrifying.
Well, no, did you see what he did after?
Oh, what you mean the assist?
Yeah, he goes down in the corner, literally tears his ACL, takes like 30 to 40 seconds to get up, starts limping to the bench, sees that another skater has the puck, takes it away from them.
Wait. Not the other skater has the puck. The other team has the puck in their own zone. Yes. He's limping his way to the boards, steals the puck from behind this guy, passes it to his teammate, who then turns around and scores.
Mm-hmm. He got an assist on a torn ACL. The best
that was pretty
thing I've ever seen.
Wedgie almost got an assist on Sunday.
He did.
I don't remember off of whose goal, but he almost got another assist.
Did I send you guys what happened to the Stars?
We could just talk about hockey for an hour.
We could. Did I send you guys what happened to the Stars Wikipedia page after we beat them?
No.
Somebody changed the name of the owner of the Dallas Stars to Scott Wedgwood.
The only one
wait. I need to explain this for all the non-hockey fans out there. The Dallas Stars were on a 10-game winning streak when they came to play the Avalanche, and the Avalanche beat them in a shootout where Wedgwood let no goals in. It was a phenomenal.
Well, not just that.
It was beautiful. 2 amazing saves.
They were up. Blackie started the game. Yeah. Blackie let in 4 goals. Yeah. Just bad bounces. Like, for a couple of those, there was not much he could have done.
A couple were his fault.
But because it's Dallas, they switched him out, pulled him, put in Wedgie. Wedgie then had a shutout for himself. He did not let any goals in for the remainder of the game. Avs won 5-4.
It was awesome.
And Choo Choo got the tie. 13 seconds from number 13 goes to overtime, and then his shootout goals, those 2 shootout goals for Dallas and Wild were magnificent.
Seriously. So it's a good time to be an Avs fan. But that is the only
tied with the Hurricanes in overtime.
This is the only hockey we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to move on to the actual subject of this podcast because it is, in fact, a Halloween podcast, and we need to talk about Halloween. Before we jump into our main topic for tonight, I do want to talk a little bit about what is happening with our haunt. So if you go back 2 episodes, you hear us talk about kind of where we're at and what we need in order to really begin building. And the number one thing that is holding me up on building and collecting materials and all of that is the shed. I am in the process of building what I hope will be a 24 by 24 foot shed. And we have the concrete poured. I need to get the building. I still need to put in another... Oh my God, I need to put in another retaining wall and...
Oh no.
Oh yes. Where? We live on a hill and a lot of hills, right? And what we did was level a portion of our hill to make this spot for the concrete pad. So on the back side of that, it drops off very suddenly and then goes down to the regular hill. And what's dropping off is all, relatively loose soil because it's the new stuff that we put down to level, right? So as we were dealing with the snow and the rain and everything else that we have had over the last couple of months, I see parts of that hill trying to slide down the hill, which is a major problem because that's what the concrete pad is sitting on. And if
we don't need that to slide
enough
down
of that washes out, but there goes my building. That's a problem. So I'm going to have to put a retaining wall in there. This one is going to be so much harder than the one I have already put in because now I'm working from behind and like lower than ground level. So all of the dirt that I'm removing has to come up like 4 or 5 feet.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. And like I did the other one completely by hand. I don't think I can do this one by hand.
No. You might need to get some
so
materials.
I might need to get some materials or equipment or something. Put a pin in that thought, though, for a moment. So something has come up, and I'm very excited to this project, and I'm very excited about the possibilities. But they are only possibilities at this point, and I want to discuss it real quick because there are lessons here for haunters.
Totally thought you were talking about your heart rate, so I'm glad it was something different.
That too.
Plan your
projects. No, I mean there's certainly that. So I have been for quite a while been a member of Rasmus Auctions, RASMUS. This is a local auction house in the Mid-Atlantic region, although they also do stuff in like California and Ohio. I don't know where exactly they're based, but they seem to pop up kind of randomly all over the place, but mostly in the Mid-Atlantic. So like Pennsylvania, DC, Virginia, Maryland, that area, right? And I've used this for years where I would buy stuff at an auction and then resell it to make money for the haunt, right? Well, oh boy. Just a couple of days ago, I got an ad for it for this auction coming up. I don't know how well you can see that.
I can see a red barn.
Very, very washed out.
And it looks like a tent.
Let me read it out. Read out the thing. New, never used outdoor storage buildings and specialty equipment auction, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So I'm like, ooh, I'm in the market for outdoor storage buildings. Let's see what they have. And my God, what they have.
Uh-oh.
Look at this. 23 by 22 foot double garage metal shed. 23 by 22, 13 feet high. And over here, another one. 23 by 22, 13 feet high. 23 by 22, 13 feet high. 23 by 22, 13 feet high. There are 4 buildings in this auction that are pretty damn close to the size that I wanted. I wanted a 24 by 24. This is a 23 by 22. But here's the thing. The kit that I was going to buy through Versatube, $8,000 for what I want. Granted, can fully customize it. That would be nice. But $8,000. With 3 days left on the bidding, the most expensive of those 4 is at $900.
That's amazing.
That's ridiculous. Right?
That's like drop one in for $2,000, call it a day, and save yourself $6,000. And guarantee you get one.
Exactly. So here's the catch, though. It's an auction, so no guarantees that I will get it because you have to win the bidding. And once
to go get it,
you have to go get it. Harrisburg is only 2.5 hours from me. It's a reasonable drive. That's not bad. I can do that in a day, like round trip in a day. But I have no idea how big this thing is, because it's they say it's disassembled. It's never been used. So it should be, I assume, on pallets or something. But I don't know what I need in order to pick it up. And so I'm very reluctant to start bidding on it, sight unseen.
Contact the auction
and
ask them?
They have a preview tomorrow from 11 to 1.
But in Pennsylvania.
In Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So I have taken a day of leave. I am driving up to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania tomorrow to go check out the lots, figure out what I would need to bring it back. If it's renting a box truck, if it's renting a trailer, if it's taking the cap off my truck and so I can put it straight in the bed. All options. And as long as I'm getting this for really less than $4,000,
it's worth it.
It's worth it. I'm coming out ahead. Even if I have to rent a truck, even if I have to rent a trailer, if it's less than $4,000, I'm saving money.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question there. Did you contact the seller to ask the question before deciding to drive down?
No, because I want to put eyes on it. Given that I have the option, I'd much rather go up there, put eyes on it, see if it's got the instructions, see if it has the manufacturer, so I can get
contact them with issues.
Exactly. And I need to know, does it come with the anchors that I need to put it into concrete? Does it come? What's included in this box? I have too many questions that could be solved by me driving the 2.5 hours up there and looking at it.
Do they? I know it's an auction, but do they? Because I know some auctions will allow straight purchases for a particular price point.
Yeah, they do not.
Okay.
They are completely straight auction. But also, they've got a bunch of other buildings on here too. So granted, some of these are, as much as I would love them, there is this 42 foot by 30 foot. Check this baby out. God damn, there we go.
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's significantly bigger than my concrete pad. And I do not have space to make my concrete pad bigger.
Is your fiscally responsible wife going with you?
No, she isn't.
Maybe I should say
I can't buy anything.
Clear-headed wife going with you.
Yeah, still no. They also have these livestock sheds, which are 3 walls and a roof, open on one long side. That I'm like, ooh, my wood pile shed that I had built is over capacity. That would work beautifully. And let's see.
That would work beautifully for a bunch of other stuff too.
That too. It's also $190 right now. Granted, lots of days of bidding left, but $190.
That would be really useful for what we could use that for?
I'm all ears.
In addition to storage.
I'm listening.
But during the haunt, set up for sales, set up for carnival games, and kind of have a mini midway.
Absolutely.
There's storage or set up, hey, food, secure place for donate or secure place for donation. There's a lot just in terms of midway and other things that we've talked about that you could do with just an open 3-sided shed like that.
I didn't even think about that, but you are absolutely freaking right.
Yeah, let's wait to give the junkie a hit.
You never said I was supposed to talk about it.
The other thing that they have that I kind of love, it is $125 right now. See if
Ooh, there you go. These are
real freaking wrought iron gates, and right in the middle of it,
I see the deer.
A scene with deer.
Yep, I see it
in a forest. And it's
gee, that's not burying the lead at all.
Right? God damn it. Even if it's 20 feet across, which is, my driveway is only about 8 feet, but these don't actually have to be freaking closed. I just leave them wide open, welcoming people in and come on. Let's be honest.
Set them up as
buying
fencing.
20 feet long gates. That's probably a step too far, right? Right?
What's the price?
Right?
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
$125.
I mean,
Ashley, I'm
fuck.
trying.
You
I am
can't.
trying.
You can't.
You will never find that price.
You're never gonna find that. Ever.
Fucking ever.
Like, it's just not gonna happen.
Yep. So for
Sorry,
all
Ashley,
of these reasons,
I wish I could try harder, but I can't.
For all of these reasons, I want to go up there so I can put eyes on these things and like
evaluate.
I can, I see that on the listing, these gates are, 20 feet long, 7 feet high, but like, I want to see that.
Yeah.
Leslie's struggling with this as much as I am.
Well, yeah, because on the one hand, it's like, okay, what budget do we truly have? But on the other hand,
what's a budget?
Well, we'll get to that. But on the other hand, like, this is why we advocate so strongly to go look at auctions, to go look at estate sales, to keep your eye on these things and on these options and
this is why I do it year round, because you never know when something is going to pop up that is just like, my God, that would be perfect.
Yeah, that would be perfect. You're not, again, you couldn't kill somebody to get a better price for this shit.
Seriously. Like, you want to talk about fucking theft? You want to talk about fucking theft? This is highway robbery right here.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
You know what? I need to look this up. What do you call these? These are driveway gates, maybe?
Yeah, wrought iron driveway gates. Easily a couple grand. Easily. Like, for true wrought iron with a design, fuck.
Home Depot has one that is not have a design. It's got some like fancy work and stuff, but not like the deer. Oh, wait. Here's one with the deer, kind of. So on Wayfair, Walmart has something similar for $1,700. We're talking 120. Like,
yeah, this is highway robbery.
This is seriously. And you know what? There's a part of me that's just like, I'm gonna just fucking buy it, and if it doesn't work for me, I'll sell it for $500 and pocket the difference. Like, that's an option too.
That's still highway robbery.
So
that would almost pay for the freaking shed.
Yep.
I have definitely had that thought where like I try to buy a couple of these
things and then sell
the others, and that pays for the shed. Like,
yep,
it's an option. So I'm going up there. I'm going to do some exploring. We'll see what happens. Fortunately, this podcast comes out after the auction closes on Friday. So I'm sorry, listeners. You can't be my competition. I was very careful to check before.
Keep an eye. Find your local auction houses. Build relationships with places that, manage estate sales, because these are beyond genius places to find all sorts of items for use in your haunt. And, we're talking right now big scale, but today's episode is actually about upcycling and taking all of these things and putting it in kind of the smaller scale. How do you deck your haunt out with props and and knickknacks and everything else to kind of build that atmosphere without breaking the bank and spending all of your money at Spirit?
Exactly. And just to give you an example of what Rasmus has to offer, I'm just want to read the headlines on a few of the auctions that they have open right now. Red Dragon Brewery going out of business. They are selling the entire contents of the brewery. Home improvement and decor. Collector showcase auction. Warehouse and showroom liquidation. DC area gallery auction. Outdoor living and home improvement. New unused equipment and containers. This is the one that caught my eye today, and I was like, Ash, how would you feel if I came home with one of these? It's a little mini front end loader.
Did Ashley stop you? How would you feel if? And then you cut you off?
No.
I think the second question is also, how many more raised garden beds do you have to build for her to offset this?
But like, look at the price of this thing. It is
shit,
$1,700 right now.
Wow. Okay. I mean, damn.
There's another one for $1,200. Like,
I'm gonna buy that. I'll have my boss buy it over for me for like $2,000 if he can get it out to Denver.
I was joking with my wife about it, but her response was, "Well, you're putting in a giant shed. As long as it fits, do what you want." Like, that's
you married the most amazing woman on the face of the planet.
You need to hang on to that one.
I need to go build her some more garden beds. Is what it? Yeah,
that too.
She deserves all the garden beds
and all the kittens,
and apparently all the kittens.
Like if we were married, my response would have included at least 4 expletives.
Only 4? Softy.
Well, I mean, it was only one sentence.
Again, only 4? Expand your vocabulary, damn it.
Only 4.
I have higher expectations for you. Come now, you played hockey.
I'd call them a lace curtain Englishman. I thought that was worth a few points.
It's definitely worth a few points. So let's jump into our actual topic now, because we have been vamping for quite a while.
For the love of God, TNT, the other game's on right now. Who cares about the overtime? Done. Move on with your life.
Indeed.
No, it hasn't started yet.
I know, but
because they'll hold it until. Oh no! I guess they are doing puck drop. Never mind.
See?
My mistake. Hey, and I gave you a fantastic segue there too. I mean, come on, man.
That was a beautiful segue, and I absolutely
will have to do lots of editing to make it work.
I will have to do lots of editing to make that work. But Les nailed it. We're here today to talk about upcycling. Upcycling is the idea that you find something that it may be trash, it may be from an estate sale or an auction, and you recycle it, you upcycle it to make it something new that you can use in your haunt. And I think in general, haunters are phenomenal at upcycling. We are just incredibly creative at finding, like, just taking what we have and finding a way to make it something new, finding a way to make it work in whatever type of haunt that you're doing. So we want to talk about it today.
Yep.
Les, start off with the figure out what you need, because I know you have thoughts on it.
Yes. So when you're approaching this, there's kind of a couple of ways to go about it. So for me, I'm either putting the cart before the horse or the horse before the cart.
I pretty consistently put the cart before the horse, but carry on.
Yes. So I am either going to start with, what is my character? What is my room? What does my character and my room need to fit the storyline, to fit the character, to fit what it is? And then from there, I go try and find that. The other way, which is kind of the way that we tend to do it, which is the cart before the horse, is you just go looking and see what inspires you.
Yes. Like, I love to just go, run to Goodwill and see what they have. I know, vaguely what's my theme and the kind of things that would fit my theme. And so I just go and look for things that inspire me. And then I find a place to fit them in later.
Yeah. So those are kind of the two main approaches. And I like to do kind of a combination of the two for a couple of reasons. One, if I just go without any thought or plan, I would be much more broke. And I would have a lot more stuff, and I would need to build another shed in my house.
Here we are.
So I like to start with at least a plan. And that also kind of gives me a direction as to, and more than just a direction, it gives me a focus. I'm not trying to always fill the whole haunt. I'm looking at, okay, I want to build the room around our porcelain doll character. What does she need? What does she need in terms of a costume? What does she need in terms of props? What are things that I would expect to see in her room that are going to add to the atmosphere, provide additional creep factor? And then from there, okay, what do I do with that? And then I go hunting. So with the porcelain doll, we're doing an entire room devoted to her. So having a lot of dolls is going to be crucial. But then, okay, now I have the dolls. Going into and finding the dolls. Porcelain dolls are, I'm not going to say they're easy to find, but if you're looking at...
If you look in the right places, they can be.
They can be. And again, antique stores and Well, they can be.
Are going to be pricey, though.
It depends. It depends.
You know where I got our porcelain dolls? Estate sales.
Estate sales, yeah.
And pretty consistently got them for less than $5 a piece.
Yeah. And it's absolutely true because I have a collection of at least 10 to 12 porcelain dolls personally that are in mint condition, which eventually we'll actually use them. So once you've gone and you've found what you're looking for, what do you do next? Well, you have to decide, what do they need to be? How do they need to be distressed? Are they already distressed? Do you want to take them, and especially in the terms of, with the porcelain doll, do you want to keep them pristine? Or do you want to have them traumatized, tormented, and, ripped apart?
Yeah, I think we went the second route.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and my wife and the actress who was playing the porcelain doll had a great time haunting these freaking dolls, just making them as freaking spooky as possible.
And it's, and for that, what do you use? Okay, well, what do you have? Do you have markers? Do you have strips of fabric? Do you have old clothes that you have that are, don't fit, ripped, torn, ratty? Rip them up even more. Tape them on, tie them on, glue them on, cut the hair, cross out the eyes. What is it that you have that you can use? So it's upcycling is, it's turning trash to treasure, but it's also just repurposing things.
Totally.
We scored.
Totally. Hell yeah. Good start, boys. Good start.
Roscoe!
All right, I'll take it.
Go, Roscoe.
Yeah, so like when we were distressing our dolls, we were actually raiding the kids' like toy box to find stuff that would be creepy. And it was so appropriate because, the dolls are like little kids. They're pretend kids, right? And so using kids' toys to make them creepier, picture like, Sid's creepy ass toys from Toy Story. I think it added a level of realism to what we were creating.
Well, and again, think about how your character is going to be using them. As much as everyone's like, "Oh, girls play with dolls and they're so sweet and nice," and no, we don't. If you talk to girls about how they actually play with their Barbie dolls, and if you watch girls actually play with their Barbie dolls, they put horror films to shame 9 times out of 10. Like, with absolutely no questioning as to what they're doing or why they're doing it. It just is one of the funniest things to watch. So lean into that as you're building your props. I mean, one of our favorite vendors, Tayan, and her project Backfire. That was the entire basis of how she started, was taking toys and making them into, props that made noise and, Toy Storying them to pieces. And she has an amazing company that she has built on that premise.
Yeah. Yeah. And they are super freaking creepy.
Oh God, they're so creepy. They're fantastic.
They're absolutely fantastic.
Is she going to be at Texas?
I haven't checked. I haven't seen the full vendor list, so I don't know.
I'm looking right now because I'm curious. And
yeah, I don't know that they've released it yet.
Well, I can look.
Well, Les is looking. Let's talk about where you get stuff. So we talked about it a little bit, auction sites, Goodwill, or any other, what do you call those?
Thrift stores?
Thrift stores. Thank you. I had ARC stuck in my head and I could not think of the real word for these.
Oh,
yeah. Thrift stores. Thrift stores are fantastic and garage sales are fantastic. Estate sales are fantastic. I like estate sales better than garage sales because estate sales, they're getting rid of everything. And if you go on the last day, they're getting rid of everything for cheap because they need it gone. Whereas garage sales, you're only going to find stuff that people already don't want. That may be perfect. That may still be perfect, but it's a limit. And I have way more luck at estate sales than I do at garage sales. To find estate sales near you. Go ahead, Les.
Yeah. And again, it's like you're saying, garage sales, you have a more limited selection. So again, garage sales, really, really great. You tend to find a lot of children's toys at garage sales.
Oh, yeah.
Oftentimes ones that are already pre-Toy Story.
Distressed.
Pre-Toy Storied is another way of putting it. So you can also find a lot of clothes. You can find a lot of older clothes.
Yeah, costume parts.
Costume parts, a great way to go. And
thrift stores also,
but garage sales, you have a little bit more negotiating power.
True.
Thrift stores, it's here's what we have, here's the price, take it or leave it.
Yep.
You also find that to some degree, because of the increase in people doing resale, the prices
who would do such a thing?
Prices at thrift stores are higher than they used to be.
Yeah.
So, and there's also, again, you also, when you go into this prepared to do some digging. This is not like going into Target and knowing what you need and going to the right aisle and picking it up and walking out the door. Be prepared and enjoy the process of hunting.
That's it. For me, it's
digging.
like a freaking treasure hunt. Like, I always keep like a really bright flashlight in my car so that whenever I go to an estate sale or something, I take it with me. And, in the dark, dingy basement, you want to have a nice bright light so that you can look into all the dark corners and see the stuff that got missed. Or, John, how many times have we been driving around the city and I took a wild detour because we saw a sign for an estate sale? He wandered off, didn't he? You bastard.
Sorry, I said 4,361. That many times.
I mean, pretty much every time you and I have ever been in a car together that we haven't like actively needed to be going somewhere to do
urgently.
Something. Yeah.
So I have a legitimate question for you. How many times, speaking of that particular topic, how many times do you think we've been driving and you have pulled some sort of vehicular maneuver that brought us fairly close to death in order to gain access to a Pokestop on Pokemon Go?
Death is too strong a word.
How about injury?
I have
bodily harm.
I have done sketchy things to find Pokestops, to pick up something that was abandoned on the side of the road and I wanted it. And because at the last minute I saw, hey, there's an estate sale over there. Let's go check it out.
And we'll cross 4-lane traffic.
We only did that once.
You shout, good luck, everyone.
We only did that only once. It was only once. But legitimately, like, that's why I keep stuff I need to do that kind of hunting in my car. I have a pair of good work gloves. I have a bright flashlight. I have, I'm going to say, a basic toolbox in case I need to, say, disassemble something to make it fit in the truck. I have the tools to be able to do that. And it's given me some nice opportunities that I could take advantage of. To Les's point earlier, I built some good relationships with a couple of the estate sale companies in my area. And when they have a sale with stuff that they know I might want, they give me a heads up. There was one time John and I were working on Arkham in Denver and got a phone call from one of the estate sale companies that said, hey, this is the last day of one of our sales and we have a ton of wood left over. Would you like it for free? I don't even care what it looks like. Absolutely. I want it. We will be there in half an hour.
Free is a strong word. That's good motivation.
Free is a great motivator.
I mean, you and I have driven up 20, 30 miles up the mountains to get free lumber.
Oh, yeah. And lumber, especially today, anytime I can get free lumber. Yeah, no absolutely. I will drive uncomfortable distances to get free lumber.
Didn't you also have one that called us about paint, if I remember right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Same guys called me about paint. I freaking love estate sales for getting paint because, sometimes when they're getting ready to sell the house, they want to keep the paint with the house. Fine. Other times they just need it gone. And so usually you'll get, a partial gallon of paint for 50 cents. You might get it for $1. And like, I don't care what the colors are for my haunted house because I'm going to be distressing the crap out of it anyway. I will take anything you have and I will put it to use.
Do like that word. That's good word choice.
We're
good enough.
good enough. Yeah, it is exactly. At that price, anything is good enough.
Yeah.
You're willing to put up with some stuff for free.
Yeah. So like, where are we finding these things? Well, estate sales, estatesales.net. I have said this on the podcast. I don't know how many times. Estatesales.net is my favorite site for tracking down estate sales in a geographic region because it is primarily actual estate sale companies who do this all the time. They are very well put together. They are very well organized, and they're the ones who are offering discounts, higher discounts as the days go on. Those are the best ones to go. You will also find some just private estate sales where people list one, a family member dies and they're doing it themselves. Those tend to be more chaotic. There's a lot more digging involved because all they're doing is throwing open the doors and saying, come take
it.
Yeah. For a price, but come take it. It is not organized. And so it's a lot more effort to find stuff in those situations, but it's a treasure hunt. My God, it's a great treasure hunt.
Yeah. So walk into this prepared for that, which is why, again, knowing how you think and how your brain puts things together is also going to be very, very helpful. Because do you need to know what you're looking for and the types of things you're looking for first? Or are you going to let your knowledge of your haunt and your character guide you and let you find the perfect thing? Like, are you planning it, or is the haunt and the character planning it for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And be patient. I hunt year round because I never know when something is going to pop up at a Goodwill. I never know when an auction is going to come up that it happens to be selling exactly the thing that I'm looking for. But if I'm not patient, I'm not going to be constantly looking, and I'm going to be missing out on opportunities that I could otherwise take real advantage of.
You have to take them when you get them.
You got to take them when you get them, and you got to be ready to take them when the opportunities appear. I think this shed adventure is an excellent example of that. I don't buy a lot from Rasmus right now because my job is 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, and they only...
Damn it. Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Freaking orders.
Rasmussen. With an assist by McDavid. Because, of course, McJesus had to stand more points. Jesus.
Lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Your job is 5 days.
You go by your job.
Does not allow you to just take time off when you want.
That's it. My job does not allow me to just take time off whenever I want. Sometimes it does, but not normally. Like, I had to actually take leave in order to go up to do this tomorrow. And if I win it, I'm going to have to take leave again on Monday. It just so happens this is a good week to be able to do that.
Yes.
Not always the case.
Yeah. Yeah. So, making that decision, like, for you, not something you can always do. For me, my job offers more flexibility. I also don't have large sheds to store things in.
You don't need to go buy big sheds either.
Not particularly. Not at this point.
Not at this point. Maybe one day.
I am better off looking for small things to then put together and turn into something for a character, for a room. And this is also a fun way to start yourself down the road of learning a new skill.
Tell us more about that, Les.
So one of the things that I have been off and on working on, preparing for, and eventually I am actually going to have to put something together, is our doctor needs a journal.
Yeah, we want to have something like laying open on his desk that talks about his musings and his, maybe a little bit
research.
Of his history. It talks about his research.
Something that, and this is also something we've talked about, as we increase our size and what we're doing, something that we can put, let's call it pages of, as something for people to look at in a queue line.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this requires several things. One, it requires me to be able to, with reasonable facsimile, draw anatomical things and write about them. It requires a level of penmanship to make it look real and not like, some 20th century writer. It also requires something that has been being impossible for me to find effectively with what I want it to look like, on any of the major places to sell things, which is a leather notebook with weathered pages that are not lined. And are not 0.5 millimeter, 2 millimeters thick and heavy. I want something that is more reasonable. So this is one of those where
she knows exactly what she wants.
I was going to say,
I know exactly what I want, and I'm either going to have to find it, or I'm going to have to find the pieces so I can make it. And because that's the thing, it's like I can find leather journals that have those things, but they're small. They're A5 paper. That would not have been something that would have been a common size back when our storyline is set.
Yeah.
I need something that is more A4 than A5. Something closer to an 8.5 by 11. It's also the fact that I would need something larger because this has to be something that as people are walking by, they're getting a quick glance, but there's enough space and enough size for them to be able to see it.
And at least take something away from it.
And take something away from it, even if they're not
reading it.
Exactly. Like I have leather looking thing, but it's hardback. I want it soft, so I know exactly what I want.
You just don't know where to find it.
I just don't know where to find it.
Yep.
And where to find it that it's not $200 because it's a custom piece of everything. Or I'm finding stuff, but it has all of these different designs on the front of the leather cover that aren't what we want. So
I would be less worried about that because our intent is to have it open anyway. Leslie strives for a level of, I'm going to say, accuracy that I think I do not.
Is unrealistic with what we're trying to do because I don't have the budget of Weta Workshop and Peter Jackson.
Yeah, but you want, like,
but I want that realism. I want that realism because it's fun.
It is fun. It is fun.
That's part of it. You can make it fun. Sometimes it feels like a task. This is something at least that you can make fun.
Yeah. So ultimately, what is I'm working towards? So I have, I'm also looking. Okay, what pen? He's going to have his pen sitting out on his desk. Well, it's not going to be one of my lovely, $4 fountain pens. It's going to be a fountain pen, but most of my fountain pens are not going to work for that. But you can get very, very cheap feather pens. So I actually have a quill pen that I can use different nibs on that works perfectly for it. So I get to practice writing with it so I can actually generate the penmanship that I want to have for the doctor to have and then have to figure out how to draw anatomical things and then put them together and then screw them up and make them look really, really twisted.
Right. I like that.
And then
that's a good point. We need like an inkwell and a feather sitting on his desk too.
I have those. Hold on.
I know, but I don't want to like steal yours.
I bought it for this.
But we want to be able to write with that one. I need something that I can put on the desk and like glue it. That's really pretty. And glue it into place so that people can't steal it.
Well, luckily this shit's pretty cheap on Amazon. But.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah. So, it's designed.
Yeah. Oh, I like that a lot.
Yeah. So I have it and it's got like a million different nibs. So try to figure out which nib do I want to use. Like, I'm not kidding when I say like.
Oh my God.
But the other cool thing that I have, because again, I think about this a lot. He does. Obviously we know Kay does, but
we all do.
We all think about this, and this is something that constantly. How do you make this look the way you want it to look? And again, like they say, they're not wrong when they say that I strive for a level of realism and authenticity that is not within my practical budget.
That is the word, authenticity. Whereas I think most of our upcycling, I think we are, taking something modern and trying to make it look more authentic.
Yeah.
By cobbling it, by rusting it, by scratching it up, by... Is that glow-in-the-dark ink?
It is. It is glow-in-the-dark ink.
You're ridiculous.
I have a whole giant thing of glow-in-the-dark ink. And at some point I'm going to have to remove the mold that's growing in it, but that's okay.
Yeah, details.
I know. But, so again, Because the other thing that I want to do is I want us to be able to have a blacklight flash that's going to show all of this other hidden stuff that's written in and around his general writing.
No TV and no beer make Homer,
go something. Go crazy? Don't mind if I do. So as you go about and as you're looking at things, and again, this is all purchasable and buyable, not outside of estate sales and everything like that. But I do think about this and, think about these characters and think about this process so frequently and picking up things here and there and how do I put this together? And then for me, a lot of it is just a matter of like sitting down and doing it.
That's where it gets hard. The sitting down and doing it. Like
That's why I have drugs.
Indeed. I'm very good at like collecting a whole bunch of shit, but then it's the actual sitting down and doing something with it where I tend to struggle. I had an idea for an upcycling scare for us, Les, and I think this will work beautifully in the laundry room. So,
do tell.
Do you remember at Fear Expo the barrel roll?
Yes, the barrel drop.
The barrel drop. It's basically, listeners, picture a metal rack that has 55-gallon drums on it, and the entire rack lifts up on the back so that the drums roll forward, crash into the front, and makes a loud noise, right?
And looks like they're going to get squished.
And looks like they're going to get squished because you actually have these barrels rolling at you, but they're trapped inside the frame. They can't get out. It's a great effect. I absolutely love it. It does not fit in our time period at all. But you know what does? Wooden casks. So my thought is we do something similar, but with wooden casks instead of a 55-gallon drum. And so what I found was plastic 55-gallon drums that we can paint to look like wooden casks.
Mm-hmm.
And then instead of, putting them sideways on a rack and having them roll toward you because they're not going to make the same sound that a metal 55-gallon drum would, I want to stack 3 of them tall with a rope running through the middle and tying the top one to the wall with a loose line, put hinges on the top 2, fill the bottom one with water, and then when people walk by, the whole thing tips over on them, but gets stopped by the line that's holding it to the wall. So they see it coming over, and then it, stops before it actually falls on them.
Yeah.
And I think this would work beautifully in our laundry room scene.
Or the kitchen.
Or the kitchen.
Because wine casks.
Ooh. Wine casks.
Wine casks in the kitchen would be fantastic.
Ooh, I like that a lot because I hadn't figured out a scare for the kitchen yet.
For the laundry room, I would say do something tactile. Drying clothes hanging down that they have to walk through.
Sure.
With
and then we can put
other things inside.
We put a person in there with it.
Body parts hanging down that they have to walk through too.
And melty parts, and there'll be, barrels with steam coming out and all of those good things. Yeah, I like that. Put it in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's definitely, that's a fantastic kitchen because that can be something that.
Oh, but wait, we would do the pots in the kitchen.
Why can't we do both? Because it's a double. So they walk in, pots rattle, moves them forward, and then they walk by, let's call it the pantry door, and have the casks fall on them.
Or we have the casks fall on them, pushes them toward the pots, and then rattle the pots at the same time. As soon like when they're right
something
there.
Like that.
Something like yeah. I kind of like that. We can work with that. So I found these barrels on Facebook Marketplace, another great location to find things to upcycle. And so as soon as I'm able to get hold of a couple, I'm going to bring them back and start experimenting with this mechanism.
Nice. Another thing that's really, really great about Facebook and occasionally Nextdoor is when you find for free groups or trade groups. So you go,
it's like trade. That's a good point.
Like, hey, I'm looking for this. I have this. What can we do? So looking at buy nothing groups can be another good way to find things, especially if you're looking for something a little bit more specific, because you can post that you're looking for something specific. And see who has that they're trying to get rid of. So that's another way that you can, if you know what it is you're looking for, you can do a more targeted search.
And I will shamelessly advertise the fact that we operate as a charity to support a local food bank. And if they would like to help, then by giving us a discount, then we would be more than happy to put their name on our website and give them a little bit of advertising in exchange for the discount that they're giving us.
Yep. So how can you leverage what your haunt is providing to the community in a way that both supports the organizations that you are getting things from and continues to support your haunt, which you're then using to support your local community?
Exactly.
Oh, sweet. We scored again.
Nice.
Natchez. Yeah, party.
Is it 2-1 now?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's funny. I can hear Alan just he screams. I can hear him, and then I know to check my phone to see who scored.
Nice.
I'm trying to be a little bit more cognizant because every time they score and I yell, "As you jump," and yells at me for scaring him.
Well, you shouldn't do that to your poor son.
I'm trying.
I don't believe you. Well, this is a perfectly natural stopping point, so I think we take a moment, hear from our sponsors, and then we'll get right back into our other thoughts on upcycling.
Back from break, we want to thank all of our sponsors for giving us money.
And if you have a message that you want to get out to the haunted attraction industry, definitely reach out to us because we have a variety of ways that we can help you do that. And I guarantee you, advertising with the Haunting You podcast is way cheaper than anything else you were going to find anywhere. And you are hitting exactly the target audience that you want because everybody who listens to us absolutely adores Halloween. Because why on earth would you listen to us blather on if you did not absolutely adore Halloween?
Actually, I have a question on that front about some advertising. Am I allowed to buy ad time?
Absolutely, you can buy ad time.
Interesting.
What are you going to be advertising?
I don't know yet.
We do not ask that question. We don't want to know.
John, I asked that question.
I feel like that should be a question that's asked. Even if I'm buying it, you should ask that question.
If you're willing to give us money for it, I am willing to take your money and
evaluate whether or
not
we're going
to.
There you go. Evaluate whether or not we will air it or not.
Be very careful. Very careful with that.
So, Les, once you have found all of these things that you can use for your haunt, where do you get your ideas on like what you're going to do with them?
So, there's a lot of places. Social media is definitely one of the first places that I'm going to say go to. Pinterest is, you can search, everything ends up on Pinterest at some point. And that's a really, really good way to not just find ideas and looks to see if it works. It's also a really, really good place because most of those will then link you back to who made it and how they did it. So you can also get ideas on how to do what somebody else has done. Any of the haunting social media groups are going to have images of, look what I made, how do I make this? So it's a really, really great place to start and to try and find all of your ideas. Another great place to go to get ideas is museums. And a lot of museums have images of a lot of their collections online. So you can even do image searches and do it that way. So especially if you're doing something that is time period related, museums can be a great place to get ideas. For me, I get ideas and inspiration from everything that I watch, everything that I read, everything that exists in my world. Hannibal is great inspiration for so many things. Oh my God.
Damn it, Kay, you got her started.
Yeah. I got her distracted because I sent both of you a comparison of McDavid and McKinnon playing each other over the course of their career.
How dare you? Because the numbers are all even, are they not?
Yeah, they are. Except for
Mac has one
game-winning
goal more than McDavid.
2-2 now.
But yeah, think of shows that you know, you can get inspiration from anything and everything around you. It's about how you look at it and what are you trying to build. I don't always love watching a lot of horror movies and things, but I also will watch them for inspiration for ideas. Another great way of figuring out how to build something, how to design something, is watching the special features on movies.
Oh my gosh, I love watching the special features on movies. The behind the scenes, how we made
the behind the scenes, and one of the best series that you will ever find, all of the details of what they did and how they did it, is going to be Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Say what you will about, whether or not the Hobbit trilogy is good, bad, or indifferent. The behind the scenes and the discussion of how they design things, all of the little pieces, that is one of the most amazing ways to start to identify techniques and tools and, things that you want to learn, and how do you, because again, when you're just getting started, you don't know what you don't know. I can sit there and be like, I want to know how to do X, but I don't even know what X is called. I just know I want this thing to look like that. But watching all of these other makers make things is one of the best ways of doing that. Another great resource is looking for other makers, the Mythbusters.
Oh, yeah.
That show is fantastic because they show how you make things, how they build things, how they design things. I will absolutely, as you're trying to figure out what does your haunt need, how do you build it, what are the pieces, one of the best things that I found of looking at new ways of figuring things out is, guys, look into Adam Savage's biography. Adam Savage, who's one of the Mythbusters, wrote his biography, and it is called Every Tool is a Hammer, which is more than a little tongue-in-cheek, but it's also very, very accurate. But one of the things that he does is he goes through and talks in depth about his process as a maker, as a designer, as somebody who, designs cosplays, and how do you get started? Okay, well, I want to make X. And he goes through his whole process of list building. And he starts off with, I want to reproduce the backpack from Dr. Strangelove. Okay, cool. Well, he goes and he starts off with a list. Well, it's a backpack, so I need a backpack. It has a whole bunch of other things in it. He lists everything that he knows is in it from watching the film, from watching whatever inspiration that he has. And then he goes and, fortunately in this particular case, there's a show that has a whole bunch of, props from Strangelove. So he goes and he looks at it, and then he finds more things. Then he takes that list, and then for each item that he's listed, he makes another list about it. So it's a lot of writing things down and organizing, and then as he builds things, as he finds things, he checks it off. As he reaches and realizes, I have to make this specific gun. This gun, is going to have all of these different parts. As he realizes that something needs to be expanded, he makes a new list and expands that part into a list of materials, into a list of tools that he needs, into a list of techniques that he needs to learn. He puts all of this together, and it's not a short process, especially again, when you're doing something that in depth, when you're trying to build that level of realism. Obviously, for what, we're doing as haunters, we're not necessarily looking to get that in depth, especially as home haunters. But it's a really, really useful book because it shows you how somebody else walks through the process and what they do with it and how they build it.
And this is one of the best makers out there.
Yes. And somebody who, yes, he has a lot of skills. Yes, he has a lot of access to tools and experts and everything else. But he also started the same way we did. And that's kind of another thing that, as you read the book, and the book itself is it's a delight, is he talks about, when he's like, oh yeah, I can totally do this. And he tells an anecdote of where he's brought in to help build a set for one of his classmates' film projects. And he's like, oh yeah, I can totally do that. Not a problem, not a problem. Gets started, realizes halfway through that he doesn't know what all of he's doing, and he doesn't have everything that he needs, and he doesn't have the time that he thought it was going to take. So he talks about all of the times that, we know of as builders and haunters of, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm out of time to do this thing. I don't have what I need, and I don't even know what I'm doing here. And oh shit. And again, this is somebody who has become so well known, and he is one of the best makers. He's worked with Lucasfilms. Like, he's done all of these amazing things, Mythbusters and everything else. We screw up, they screw up too. But how do you move on? How do you plan? How do you track? How do you build? And how do you find these techniques? So it's about finding that community around you that can help you with that and building those experts. So not just building the community of, well, where do I find these things? But find your local makers community, because making friends and building relationships within your local makers community is going to give you access to somebody who's, oh yeah, I know how to knit. Yeah, I know how to work clay. Yeah, I absolutely have a kiln you could use. Building those relationships and building that community is going to help you be able to take trash and turn it into a treasure. And, while that sounds kind of tongue in cheek, it is really what we're looking to do.
Here in particular, like for upcycling in particular, yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. Yeah. So other places where we get ideas, if you have Disney Plus, they have a couple of fantastic documentaries that are about the Imagineering process, about how they've built they have a whole one that talks about building the different theme parks. They have other ones that focus on building attractions. One of my favorite behind the scenes looks of any of them. And of course, have to throw out the obvious that we harp on all the time: go to a convention.
Yep.
Because one, you have the opportunity to take classes with experts who do this for a living. Two, you can just wander around the show floor and be inspired by all of the just absolutely phenomenal art that is out there for sale. Three,
and talk to all of the artisans and say, how did you make that? Where do you get your ideas? How did you come up to do that?
With all of these people. So cannot stress enough the advantages of going to a convention. Go do it right now. In fact, go to our website at hauntcycling.com, click on the events tab, and see where all of the conventions are happening this year, so you can find whichever one is closest to you, and then come to Texas and hang out with us. In that order.
Yes, we even have our booth number.
Do we?
Yep.
How do you have it and I don't have it?
I looked on Texas Hunters to see.
Oh, they've got the floor plan out.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. What booth did we get?
I want to say 322. Actually, it's a pretty good spot.
Is it next to Chamber?
Very close. We're one over.
Okay, let's get back on topic and wrap this up. So, yeah, we get ideas really all over the place. Honestly, the more the more that you consume, the more ideas you're going to have. So put yourself out there, look for opportunities, look for inspiration freaking everywhere. Hell, when I'm walking by a cool house, I will take a snapshot of it, this architectural detail that I love, and I want to incorporate into the haunt. Snap a picture of it real quick, and then I can play with it at my leisure, right?
Yeah. Other thing I do is, as I'm thinking about the stuff, I either have a notebook or a specific, notes on my page of notes on my notes app, that as I think of something, I write it down, because there's a very, very good chance that by the time I get back to some place that I can actually take notes, I'm going to forget it. So having either a notebook that I always carry with me, which is constant, or, using the notes app on my phone, is just being able to take a picture, write something down, again, as you're thinking about it, to write it down. Or, oh, hey, I saw this image of, or a clip of a show of something, YouTube or Instagram or whatever. Search the comments. Okay, what is the show? Write it down. Okay, this is a show that I need to look at. That seems like they have some really, really cool stuff potentially in it. That's another place of like, hey, what do I, again, you don't know what you don't know. There's so much media out there that, again, finding those clips, finding those things and being like, oh, hey, I need to go look at this. I want to go look at this. There's something that might be here with this. So then I can at least at my leisure go look and go research and see, oh, okay, that's what that is. Like there's a show that I found. It's a Frankenstein show. It's with Sean Bean and it's on Prime, but it's got some really, really cool stuff in it from terms of practical imagery. So writing these things down and then going and finding it and being like, okay, now I have some time. Let me go look at my list. Let me go do some additional research and see how this thing that I think might work is actually going to work.
Yeah, totally. Also, I'll just get inspiration from the trash that I'm finding. Like, hey, I never thought that this room needs a candelabra, but check this thing out. This is super freaking cool. All I need to do is add some cobwebs to it and, maybe put a little spray paint to make it look rusty. And we go. Great. Love it. Move on. And it just adds like that little detail that makes the room feel more authentic.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we using to do these things? I use a lot of YouTube because that's a great way to learn new techniques.
There's a tutorial for everything.
There is a tutorial for everything. You can find some of those tutorials on the Haunting You YouTube at Haunting You on YouTube. And, check us out. Honestly, we have a lot more build stuff on there than we have like distressing and such.
But as we get into it, and as I actually get to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm going to start building the stuff and designing the stuff that I want to, I will be making a concerted effort to record and have that go up. So you guys can watch me as I try and figure out how to make a leather notebook that does and looks and behaves the way I want it to.
I want a time lapse of you writing the notebook.
Okay. Yeah.
Keep it in mind.
I will. I've got to, trying to think of the best way to set that up, but I definitely can do that.
Let me show you how I set mine up. So I found this little tripod at, a Goodwill. It's, I don't know, 1.5 feet tall or so. And then they have these phone mounts on Amazon. Mm-hmm. This one's like made of metal. It's super rigid.
I would probably end up using my ring light so that way we can actually get good lighting.
Oh yeah, if you have that.
I have a ring light with a phone holder.
Well, then you have no problem. You have everything you need.
Yes, except space on my desk.
Details. Yeah.
So and again, it's about playing with it, and so it's also as you go into it, give yourself some grace and some patience because it is a learning process. You are not going to be perfect right out of the gate. You are not going to have it look the way it might look in your brain right out of the gate. That is okay. Again, especially as we're talking the notebook, I struggle with it a lot because I write, and even when I'm trying to write differently, it still looks like my handwriting. And I have to recognize that nobody else is going to look at it and go, oh yeah, Leslie wrote that. But for me, it's not different enough. So that's something that I have to, deal with and get over, which is why having, different types of nibs and pens and everything else makes a difference for me. So it does not have to be perfect because they're literally going to be walking by, looking at it for like 20 seconds and moving on.
Exactly.
It's to provide an idea. It's to provide a feeling and an image, not something that a historian is going to be digging through.
100%. 100%. And if people are spending more than 20 seconds in a room, you need to put a scare there to scare them forward because that is taking way too long.
And you're going to end up with a conga line, and nobody wants a conga line at a haunt.
Nobody likes a conga line in a haunt. Love a conga line at a wedding. No conga lines in your haunt.
Exactly.
So some tools that we keep on hand to do this upcycling. One of my favorites, Hot Wire Foam Factory. Anytime I'm working with foam, and I wanted to mention earlier where to get foam, the trash, first of all. Anytime someone buys, a large appliance or a TV or whatever, and it comes with foam packaging, great foam that you can use for doing detail work on your larger builds.
Yep.
But Hot Wire Foam Factory makes great tools for doing stuff like that. Your webcaster gun. I so badly want to try a webcaster gun. But we have not yet been in a place where it made sense for us. But this is basically a hot air or a hot glue gun with a compressed air connection on it. So you melt the glue, press the button, and it sprays glue in a very fine strings that look like the most freaking authentic cobwebs you will ever make.
So doing that is faster than taking a glue gun and trying to draw cobwebs. Now, if you do not have that, you do not have the budget for it, the space for it, whatever.
You're cheap.
A glue gun, you can do all of this with the glue gun. It's just slower. So I would also actually have a glue gun on hand as a tool, because you can make things look drippy, you can make things look melty, you can add texture, you can add those strings, you can add those things. So a glue gun is a very, very good tool to have to start with. True. And they have colored glue sticks. So you don't actually
think about that. That's true.
Yeah, so you can add color just by using different glue stick for glue sticks.
Yeah.
Or hot glue guns. So that's a good one. Another tool, or rather kind of material to have on hand, is batting.
What is batting, Les?
So anything that you want to stick in a stuffed animal. So if you're making stuffed toys, it's just the fluff. So your dog decides that they need to defluff their toys and
hang on to it.
And to hang on to it, because you can spread that all apart. You can, again, glue it on, stick it on, paint it. It's going to add texture. It's going to add something that's going to catch your eye. So looking at that, and again, you can buy batting at, hobby stores and things like that. Or if you have a dog and they like to de-stuff their toys, just pick it up and, use it that way.
You already paid for it. Use it again.
Use it again. This is upcycling day. Markers, spray paint.
Yep. And even like acrylic paint, like little balls of acrylic paint. Totally.
Mm-hmm. Paper. Just ripped up paper, and being able to glue ripped up, crunched up paper to things and then paint it is going to get you texture. It's going to get you all sorts of ways to make something look different, to change the shape of things. Polyclay and any sort of polymer clay, hobby clay. Again, great way you can use to take something like a simple candelabra and build it up. Add gargoyles to it. It's all right there. It's easy. It's relatively inexpensive. Foam, like hobby foam, not just
totally hobby foam. I was going to say, don't overlook like action figures or Christmas decorations, Christmas ornaments, because these can be easy ways to get like little figurines of people or whatever to add details to your props. I love taking the angels off of Christmas decorations and then embedding them into the foam of my tombstones.
Yep.
Because I am not that good at carving, but I can totally glue something.
Yep. Another thing is like taking Christmas balls, like those slightly mirrored Christmas balls, shatter them, and then sand them. And you can use that to make mosaics.
Ooh, sure.
And so you be careful because they are sharp and pointy, but sanding them also gives you that distressed look. So in terms of distressing, wire brushes, sandpaper, hammers, hot air guns,
Dremel,
anything that can scratch, grind, wear away
children
is going to yes, you can actually just give toys to children, especially tiny ones, and say, go throw this outside because I'm tired of you throwing things at my head.
Yeah, or pets for that matter. Here,
yes.
chew on this, pup.
Chew on this. Make a hole in it.
Yeah.
If you're doing anything like with our doll room, soft toys, absolutely. Run them through the dog first. If you need to distress fabric. Hey, you've got a cat? Cool. Kitty, come scratch this.
Yeah. Put my costumes on the corner of my couch so the cat scratches that instead of the couch.
Exactly. So these are all ways that, and again, most of these things are things that relatively inexpensive, easy to store, small. You don't have a Dremel, sandpaper. It's going to be more manual labor, but it's going to get you there. It's going to get the same thing. It's just going to take a little bit longer.
Yeah. Belt sander along that same line as well.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're distressing costumes, belt sander will do it fast.
Real fast.
And maybe a little too much.
Maybe a little too much.
Yeah. Do less than you think you need to.
Yes. and use less pressure than you think you want to.
Accurate.
It's fabric, not oak. Another great
Go ahead.
place to find things. Go outside. Sticks, leaves, detritus on the ground, rocks, pebbles. These are all things that you can just pick up and glue onto something or hit something against and turn it into something that's going to look more distressed.
Yep, we totally just would go out and grab sticks to make like the tripod for a witch's cauldron over a fire. Go grab some sticks from the forest. Easy. Tie it together with some twine.
Yep.
Oilers scored again.
Yeah, they did do that.
Grumble. So yeah, I mean, I think that kind of covers our thoughts on upcycling. Les, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
I don't think so.
Well, I think that is an excellent place to call it then. Before we go, have to give a quick notice. If you are a home haunter, and chances are, if you're listening to this, you may be a home haunter. The Home Hunters Award Show extended their entry deadline for 2025. So you have until March 20th, 2026. That is roughly 6 days after or maybe 5 days after we release this podcast. You have 5 more days to get your entries in for the 2025 Home Hunters Award Show. They have, here are the categories: best motorized prop, best static prop, best pneumatic prop, best walkthrough, best display, best modified store-bought prop, best Hauntcycled, best costume, best overall. And they have received so far roughly 78 entries across all of those. So decent amount of competition, but there are some of those categories that do not have nearly as much competition as they should. So if you have pictures, if you have videos of what you did for Halloween 2025, submit it to the Home Hunters Award Show. Show off your work. Be proud of your work. And this is a great way to do that.
And look and see what everybody else is submitting. So again, where do you get ideas? Look at these types of competitions.
Go look at the previous year's winners for, they do a whole award show as part of this. Go look at the previous year winners and see what they did. There's some inspiration for you. All right, John, you want to give a quick rundown of our social media and everywhere that people can find us?
You can find us everywhere. It's true. Everywhere you listen to a podcast, you can find us. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, Google Podcasts, anywhere you can find podcasts, we are there.
Absolutely.
You can find us Haunting You. Sorry, it's Haunting You. So again, multitasking. Facebook.com/Haunting You. Instagram @Haunting University. And I always forget YouTube. Where are we on YouTube?
YouTube is @Haunting You. Fantastic indeed. Definitely go check out our website, hauntingyou.com, because that is where you will find everything that we do, as well as links to all of our social media. You'll find our events page. You'll find the Haunting You method. And of course, you'll find every episode of the Haunting You podcast. So you can go back and listen to anything that we have done over our 9 years of doing this, something like that.
Where are we at episode wise?
So this is going to be episode 109, or are we on to 110?
Crazy.
Nope, this is going to be 110. This is episode 110. Oh my god, can you believe that, guys?
Dang,
that's insane.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
That's absolutely awesome. I did not think we would get this far, and yet here we are.
No one did. They all doubted.
No one did.
And to those of you who have listened to us from day one, and to those of you who are just finding us, thank you and welcome.
Indeed. Oh, there it is. Oh. So I think we call it a night. Please definitely come check us out. Once again, we're putting out 2 podcasts a month. Make sure you are subscribed on whatever podcast application that you were listening, so that you can be notified every time that we release a new podcast. And if you enjoy what you're hearing, leave us a review. One, it helps more people find our podcast when a lot of people are doing reviews, so we can help more people with their haunts. But also, it makes us laugh. Every time we read one of your reviews, we have a great time. We absolutely love to hear what you think. We want to hear your feedback so we can make sure that the content that we're creating is as applicable as it can be for you. So definitely leave us a rating on whatever podcast app you are using, and we cannot wait to see what you put. So from all of us here at Haunting You, we hope you have a fantastic March. We'll see you in April. Happy hunting.
Bye, everybody.
We are incredibly grateful to all the sponsors who make this show possible, especially our premium sponsors, the Chamber of Haunters and VFX. You can learn more about our premium sponsors by checking out their websites at chamberofhaunters.com and vfxcreates.com. Check out our website at hauntingyou.com for more information on everything that we do. Haunting You can be reached via Facebook at facebook.com/hauntingyou with just the letter U, or on Instagram under the handle @hauntinguniversity, and YouTube under the handle @hauntingyou. Haunting You is a production of Sanguine Creek Entertainment. All audio clips and sound effects are used under a Creative Commons Attribution or Public Domain license from Purple Planet Music at purple-planet.com or the Sound Bible at soundbible.com. Please see the show notes for more information on all the clips used in this episode.
I'll do it.
Layla, leave my Adderall alone.